Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to Ranger Danger.
Go, go, Ranger Danger. Ooh. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Ooh. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Matt and Michael's Ranger Danger.
Welcome once again to Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger. This is the podcast where the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers watch us and then afterwards they discuss us.
I think that's back to front, Matt.
Ah, God damn it. It's always happened. No, I got it now. It's the podcast where we watch Power Rangers and then afterwards we discuss it. Is that right?
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
You
All
got
right.
it.
Easy mistake to make that
I
one.
understand, yeah.
Today we're going to be watching episode 94 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers entitled Where There's Smoke, There's Fire. Matt is here because that's me. Michael, are you also here?
I am also here.
Fantastic. We have a new guest, which is very exciting for me. Welcome to Ranger Danger, Jess.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We love having new guests on the show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome. We have a tradition on the show. We ask the new guest questions. Very official, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get them wrong, we'll kick you immediately off the podcast.
Oh,
That's not true. There's no wrong answers here. The first one is, what was your first experience with Power Rangers? Can you remember watching it as a kid?
so my first experience with Power Rangers was probably when I was about 8.
Yes,
So
wow.
it used to be on after Simpsons, so I'd kind of watch and
After Simpsons.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
yeah,
Okay.
on Fox 8. That's probably about all I remember.
I
so
see. So you're on pay TV.
yeah.
You're on the fancy rich person's television. I had to watch it on public television, like a pleb.
Do you remember what channel it was on?
Pretty sure it was Prime, but I'm not sure.
Prime is 7.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
like regional 7.
Yep.
So it wasn't just like poor people's TV. It was regional poor people's
Does
TV.
Prime have the, like, koala that comes out and tells kids to
No,
go
that's
to sleep?
a possum. That's
It's a
Prime possum. He would come on at 7:30 p.m. and tell the kids it was time to go to sleep now.
For listeners in America, I swear to God, we're not making that up.
No, he was like a man in a suit, giant possum, that would come on at 7:30 like, hey kids, guess what? It's time to go to bed. And it didn't take you long to start resenting that possum. Because you're like, no, Prime Possum, I go to bed when I want to. Don't tell me when to go to sleep. Sorry, I should took that conversation off the tracks a bit, didn't I? So can you remember what era of Power Rangers it was when you were watching?
So it was probably about 15 years ago. So
Okay.
not really sure.
What would that... Were there cars? The giant robots, were there cars? Or
Dinosaurs, animals,
spaceships?
trains.
I feel like there were
Rescue, yeah.
Transformer style giant robots, I think.
Okay.
Cars, maybe?
Maybe. Maybe Turbo?
Maybe?
All right. Well, what we can do is when you watch the show today, you can see if you recognise anything. I suspect what we'll be watching today will be a bit before what you saw.
Cool.
But we'll be able to let you know. So, did you watch any more Power Rangers after that? Like, has it been that long since you've seen it? Did you watch any, like, when you were 9 or 10 or...
No, I haven't really. It was kind of a fleeting, oh, this is kind of interesting. And then, just haven't seen a lot of Power Rangers, to be perfectly honest. So,
Wow.
Like, in for something.
The time of your life.
I would not make a promise that big. We don't really have anything else to talk about today.
No, kind of light on. Hey, guys, you're supposed to send us emails. That's you, listeners.
Yeah, where can they send us emails, Matt?
Using our interweb mail address, that's rangerdangerpodcast@gmail.com. We have an internet website where we have the Ranger Danger creature feature and show notes and all that sort of thing. That's www.rangerdangerpodcast.com. If you want to send us a Twitter tweet using the Twitters, we're at RangerDcast. We are on Stitcher and iTunes and Facebook and YouTube and Stitcher.
You said Stitcher
and
twice.
Stitcher and also Stitcher. We're not on LinkedIn, but we are on Google+.
And YouTube? Did you say YouTube?
I said YouTube.
Okay.
Don't say things twice, Michael. That's stupid.
We've got a shop?
We've got a shop, rangerdangerpodcast.com/shop, where you can find a range of incredible things, including mugs and shirts and prints. Not like the recording artist formerly known as Prince. He's not on there. He's not for sale. We don't deal in human trafficking. There's art prints. Although Prince was kind of art print as well, wasn't he, when you think about it?
Oh, boy. All right. Just before we get into Where There's Smoke, There's Fire, we did get a message from Cameron in May, so a while back now.
Whoa.
telling us that apparently at some point in this episode there is a rapid fire set of puns.
That was already a pun. Because the episode title is,
Where there's smoke, there's rapid fire puns.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all with you.
Yep, cool. I'm glad.
You all right today, Matt?
I'm fine.
Okay.
It's been a big week. I'm very tired.
Okay.
And I'm overcompensating.
All right. So I guess we'll go watch that.
Uh-huh. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll
make
be back
art.
in a bit. Yeah.
See you soon, guys. And we're back. That was the episode about fire. Jess, I think we should start with you. Your first experience with Power Rangers in 15 years at least. How was it?
It was actually exactly as I remembered it.
Well,
Lots
doesn't
of
change much, does it?
No, lots of kind of very frightening special effects, and by frightening, quite poor.
Yeah, that, like, frighteningly bad, absolutely.
Frighteningly bad. Yeah. Yeah, but actually really good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you think, were those the Rangers that you grew up with, do you think? Or
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I kind of remember the transforming, so that's probably it.
They're sort of a feature in all of them. They just have different...
There's
ones.
always a giant robot.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like if it was the one that you saw when you were a kid, you'd be like, oh yeah, I remember these guys. So probably not the right one.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, well, I'm glad you had a good experience.
Yeah.
Really interesting episode this time about fire. I just assumed the moral of the story would be, be conscious of fire safety. But the moral of the story was actually, don't be too conscious of fire safety.
I don't think that's quite the
That
moral.
was pretty much it.
Look, I think that's a way you could take the episode.
Clearly, I took it that way, so yes.
We take it from the top, Matt?
Sure.
All right, so look, I'd like to start by talking about Miss Appleby.
Yes,
She is the worst teacher.
definitely.
First of all, she has no control over the class at all.
Consistently demonstrates a lack of control. Yeah.
Secondly, she doesn't teach anything. This is like 3 weeks in a row that we've opened an episode with a Power Ranger giving a presentation to the class about something.
It's pretty ingenious. She just gets all the kids to give presentations all of the time.
It never has
Never
to
has
do
to
any
do
preparation.
anything. It's pretty smart.
Yeah.
She's onto
It's
something.
good tactic. Yeah.
Definitely. So we have an actual firefighter come in and talk to the students about fire.
Firefighter Newman.
Yeah, firefighter Newman, who is the world's biggest hick.
The female Power Rangers seem to think he's attractive.
Definitely.
I think he looks like a slightly melted version of Robert Patrick in Terminator.
Yeah,
But
I get that.
Yeah.
Melted because of the fire, you think?
I mean, maybe that's possible.
It's weird because, like, the actors aren't 16, but the characters are meant to be 16 years old.
Yep.
And he was not a young-looking firefighter,
No.
So there would have been a good 20 to 30-year disparity between...
Firefighter Dilf. Yep, that's right. It's been said now. You can't take it back.
I wish I could, but I can't. Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
So
He had a hilariously hick accent, though,
it was
right?
pretty, yeah.
Because everyone else on the show is from LA, so they had LA accents, but he was real country bumpkin.
You know, that's all good firefighters are.
Country bumpkin?
That's just science.
right. There you go.
So everyone's written an essay,
Yes.
and he's going to select a fire safety captain.
Yep.
What that actually is
Nebulous.
unclear, and
I don't really understand how writing an essay actually has anything to do with your ability to actually fight fires.
I don't know either. I suspect this position is largely ceremonial and will not involve, like, actual firefighting. So,
it seems to involve a lot of putting posters up.
yeah, I suspect it was one of those things where, like, you trick kids into writing essays by offering them pretend positions, you know? It's like, write a really good essay and you'll get to be the captain of fire things.
And then you can talk about it. I don't actually have to teach. So,
yeah, exactly.
So-
All part of her big scheme.
Bulk and Skull wanted everyone to take the week off school to think about what fire safety means to them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they have not won the position.
Unfortunately not.
No.
Bulk says that in such a, like, morose way, you know? It's like, let's really have a think about what fire means. It's pretty charming.
Almost. It's Aisha is going to be fire safety captain.
Yay,
and we will
Aisha
learn
won.
that she's going to take it incredibly seriously.
So seriously.
Too seriously.
Definitely. Moral of the episode, don't really worry about fires. Just don't worry about it.
put a bunch of posters up and go and tell everyone that they should be more fire conscious, and you've done your job.
Yeah, but not too many people.
No.
Because that's bad. Moral of the episode.
Guys, I'd just like to say, please be serious about fire safety.
Oh, you're the fire captain.
Look, I'm not going to put up any posters, okay? I'm just saying, if you're listening to this podcast and you're going, yeah, all right, I'll just go set some stuff on fire and not care. Don't do that.
If I was being like irresponsible with fires and you told me not to do that and I wasn't listening to you, I would definitely expect you to put up posters. I would like not be at all surprised if you started putting up posters telling me what the right like fire safety protocols are.
Well, Matt, how else would you know?
Exactly.
I feel like the only thing I learned about fire safety from that episode was don't plug your hair straightener or your hair curler and your hair dryer in at the same time, which is a good lesson, but
It's a big problem that I have, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, these luscious locks don't come naturally.
Oh, dear.
Particularly the bit about whether you should put the gel on before or after you curl your hair. How do you do it, Matt?
I don't use gel, for starters. I mean, like, that's a rookie mistake. You really want, like, a paste.
But is it before or after you've done the curls? Because that was the important part to the girls.
I'm going to be honest, I don't curl my hair. I do hairdry it, though, and I do put stuff in it. So I actually put the stuff in before I hairdry it.
That's 2 more things that you do than I don't do.
That's right. Yeah.
I put water in it,
Yeah.
and then it's done for the day, forever.
Yep.
Yep. It's pretty easy. So the Power Rangers, Lord Zed says, are interested in fire safety.
Yep.
So I guess he's going to send down some sort of fire monster.
A good call.
Yeah.
Pick that one.
Yep, he does. Not yet, but he will. Goldar wants to send down some putties, but Lord Zed shoots him down.
Hang on. Goldar suggests that he send down some putties with matches. Which is the best plan. It's the most literal interpretation of that brief, you know? It's like, Lord Zed wants fires. Okay, grab some matches. We'll just start from scratch.
It'd be better if he'd suggested sending down putties with 2 sticks to rub together.
Or magnifying glasses.
So
There's some dry leaves.
So Aisha's doing a presentation on the hazards of overloading electrical circuits.
Yeah.
Most fire prevention is common sense.
Yep.
Which I would agree with, I think.
Yep.
Don't set things on fire.
You know what's also common sense? Don't base your presentation on fire safety, particularly relating to plugging too much stuff into sockets, by using live sockets.
She's doing a demonstration on the front desk.
Yeah.
With like actual electrical plugs and...
Yeah, it's all live. So when Bulk and Skull come in a bit and try to plug more stuff in and spill some water, it goes disastrously wrong. Part of that's their fault. Part of it's Aisha's fault for stacking like power boards on top of each other on the desk in the middle of the classroom. That's not very fire safe.
She has to learn a lesson.
She did put it out very quickly, though, with a proper little fire extinguisher, which
Yeah.
I thought was very convenient.
Novelty-sized fire extinguisher.
They do exist. You can buy them for $25 down at Bunnings, just so you know.
You're the fire captain.
Jess is the fire.
I have actually used a fire extinguisher in real life.
Wow.
Is it as fun as I imagine?
hang on.
It's so much fun. It's unbelievable fun.
Hold the phone. This definitely needs to be story on the podcast. Tell us the whole thing.
So, as part of being the fire warden at work, I had to go
She
and...
was the fire warden
Yes.
at work.
And I got to wear a yellow firefighter helmet.
Shit, yeah.
Had to sit through an incredibly boring but educational demonstration as to what goes into a fire. So fuel,
Yep.
oxygen, and I've forgotten the other one.
Fire?
I think it's that's fuel. I can't remember what the other one it was.
I don't know.
But the whole lesson was around you've got kind of a triangle with all these things, and you've got to
Is it
put
an ignition something?
yes.
I'm going to look up the fire triangle while you tell the story.
So what you've got to do is take one of those elements out or reduce it, and that's how you bring down the potential of there being a fire.
Go turn that triangle into a line.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia, the fire triangle is heat, fuel, and oxygen.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So if you reduce one of those, you reduce the likelihood of a fire. So after that really boring demonstration, we're going, yep, that's all really good. Okay, and he's like, so do you want to play with fire extinguishers? And we're like, yeah. So learnt about the different types. So we used like a powder one and got to shoot it at a brick out the back at work.
Take that brick.
As the entire like office watched on. It was good. So
That sounds great.
yeah.
I went to a lot of fire presentations. So I used to work in cinemas. I would have sat through like 5 or 6. And they were always interesting, but they never involved actual fire extinguishers, sadly.
That's disappointing.
We got to watch a lot of videos of like stupid people doing stupid things. Like from like security cameras in...
Oh, like actual videos, not like demonstration videos.
No, actual videos. It was pretty great.
What sort of stupid things? You got to give us a stupid thing.
You know, I have very vague memories of... I know one of them was a guy who like went into like a convenience store and stuck it up, but he's got a bit violent in the process and bagged some stuff around and knocked like a bag of chips or something into like the hot dog thing or something like that.
Right.
And it started to catch on fire. And he didn't realize until quite late. And the guy at the counter was like pointing at it because you can't hear anything because it's just like a crappy security camera.
But the guy who's holding it up is going, no, I'm not going to get distracted.
Exactly. He's like, yeah, bullshit, mate. Like, whatever. And then his arm catches on fire. He freaks out and runs out of the store. Didn't teach us anything, but it was great. It was hilarious.
All right. So
Great. Yeah.
So Bulk and Skull come in dressed as junior firefighters.
No, sorry, wannabe firefighters.
Sorry, wannabe firefighters.
It's actually on the back of their jackets. It says wannabe firefighters
That
club.
they've clearly done with themselves with a bit of spray paint and a
I
stencil.
think so. But at the end of the episode, Bulk mentions being kicked out of the wannabe firefighters
So
club.
it's a real club.
It's an official organisation. Like, it's kind of a demeaning title, right? Wannabe firefighters.
Yeah, normally they go for junior.
Yeah. Or up and coming or something like that.
Up and coming firefighters. So look, they want to do a presentation.
Yes.
They got a cute dog as well.
Yep.
Um,
Dalmatian, really cute.
Look, long story short, Skull is really bad at putting the screen up for the slides.
Boy, is he. It takes him like 5 minutes. It's the longest part of the episode.
If you've used one of those, though, I feel like there's an incredible human truth. They're really hard to put up.
I don't doubt it, actually.
Yeah.
And then Bulk plugs something in and a fire doesn't start.
Yeah.
But electricity does start visibly running across wires.
Mm-hmm. It's scary.
Yeah.
I was scared.
Aisha overreacts a little, I think. Like she unplugs it and
That would be the
instantly
name of her autobiography.
overreacting a little.
Yeah.
But would you really... Is that the way you solve that? You just pull the plug out? Wouldn't that be so much more dangerous?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
You
she
see,
grabs... There's like visible electricity running along the surface of the wire.
it's arcing along the cords that she's pulling, and she just grabs them. But no, she's fine. No repercussions for that.
No. And then she says, remember everyone, water and electricity don't mix. Which is not the lesson that they just learned.
Yeah, I heard that, and then I just assumed I'd missed some water.
No.
But no?
No.
All right.
Unless she was like, don't use a water fire extinguisher. But
that does make sense.
But it's not
Yeah.
sufficiently explained. No.
Especially not to kids.
All right, so everybody's in the juice bar.
Yep.
Tommy's got a fireman's hat on.
Yep.
Looking like a fireman-themed stripper.
Definitely, yes.
So Aisha's got posters.
Yep.
And the posters seem to just be a picture of a fire extinguisher and they say, like, Fire Safety Week.
Yep.
They don't have any actual useful information on
Date or
them.
location.
Or how to put out an actual fire?
Also useful, yeah.
So Kimberley didn't put one up in the hallway.
Yep.
And Aisha's pretty upset.
Yeah.
She's taking it very seriously.
Very seriously.
One thing I noticed, Ernie has a name tag. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows Ernie.
Yeah.
Ernie's the only person who works there. He runs the place. He owns the place.
And he's kind of a big personality. Like, it's not like he's a wallflower that just shrinks into the background.
It's not like if he walked in and you said, who's that? He wouldn't say, hi, I'm Ernie.
Yeah.
Why does he need a name tag?
I don't know.
Anyway. That's it.
Glad we investigated that situation.
I don't have a solution.
Back onto the posters, though.
Yes.
I found that really interesting because she wanted him to put them up all over at the mall, like everywhere. I
library,
thought
I
she
believe.
was just fire captain for like the school, not
She's taking it
the
very seriously.
entire town.
Yeah, is she overreaching? Or is it actually like a position that covers the town?
If it is, he's giving it to a 16-year-old the best decision.
Well, you know, the firefighter who came in clearly doesn't live in Angel Grove from the accent. You know? So
Maybe
they
he's
just don't-
moved.
No. Maybe they just don't have firefighters in Angel Grove, and their only solution is like... let's-
Everyone is required to be incredibly vigilant about fire safety.
Or they just get one 16-year-old girl to handle it. No?
Oh, that seems like a terrible decision. But
yeah, but it's Angel Grove.
all right, so
Living there is a terrible decision.
Lord Zed sends down some putties.
Yes. And he actually has a pretty good reason for it this time. He says, I don't want the Power Rangers getting in the way of this thing, starting some fires to send out putties.
Yep.
Which isn't, like, fantastic. But he usually just sends down some putties as a matter of course.
Yep.
You know, it's like, this is what I do. I send down some putties first, and then I'll send the monster.
So the putties arrive.
Yep.
Right in front of Rocky and Tommy and Adam, who are out for a run.
Yep.
They're doing like a dance number.
There's definitely some rhythmic movements.
It's weird.
Like their hands stay in one place and the rest of their bodies like revolve around it.
It's weird even for this show.
It's weird for putties specifically, they're pretty weird creatures.
Not to mention they're all awkwardly running in a straight line, right, quite close to one another. Do people do that? Do they normally run like that?
I don't know. I don't run with other people.
Not with 3 people. You
Like-
know, I think 2 people running next to each other, I've seen that around. That happens. 3 people, no. Not practical. You know, most footpaths...
Take up a lot of space.
Exactly. 3 across is just problematic.
Yeah. Straight line, guys. Single file.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
don't care. They're just all over the place.
Yeah. Sick of their shit.
Matt just very lightly beat his fist on the table.
I don't want to damage the table. I'm not that angry.
Slightly outraged.
That's right.
Yeah.
Minor outrage.
All right.
Absolutely.
So they fight the putties.
they do.
They beat the putties.
You know, there's one shot there where Adam is like running across the table and fighting across the table as he goes. That's pretty cool. That's all I have to say about that.
Matt loves Adam.
Yeah.
My favourite bit was when they all went to go and fight them and jumped over the log. Like, all had to jump over the one same log.
And they had like a sound effect that went with it.
Yeah,
It was like,
and-
whoosh.
And they all had to, like, profile and line up after jumping over this log. It's like they'd practiced that a bit before, I feel.
Probably did.
Yeah.
I would too, to be honest. You gotta nail those moments when they come up.
You know, you got to be prepared.
Yeah.
If I've ever got to jump over a log, I want to know that there's a sound effect.
I think it's more like
What would your sound effect be?
that's a putty sound.
I don't
It's
think
a weird sound effect for jumping over a log, isn't
I don't
it?
think you could jump and do that at the same time.
I
think
guess
we
we'll have
test
to
this
go
out.
outside and find out.
Michael, move the chair back a bit.
That's not a log, Matt. I mean, I guess it was a log at some point, but
We
now
can
it's a
imagine
chair.
I don't need you to jump over something. Just jump and make the sound.
I'm not going to do that.
Please?
I'm not going to do
See,
that.
because you can't, and you need to change your sound if you can't jump and do the sound
Okay,
at the
I'll
same
work on a
time.
new sound.
For the podcast?
I'm not, it's a terrible thing for the podcast.
Why?
I could just sit here and go, "Woo-woo-woo," and they're not going to have any idea. Also,
but
I've
will.
forgotten what that
I'm
sound was.
here to be the audience surrogate and make sure you actually commit to this.
I'm not going to jump over a chair.
No, just don't jump over a chair. Just jump on the spot. No risk involved.
I don't understand why I have to jump on the spot and make the sound.
I feel like it has to be a jump in movement, though. Like, if you're jumping over a log, there's a lot of effort involved. Like,
Okay, it could be like a jump from one spot to another. But
I don't
Yeah.
understand what's going on anymore.
So-
I've lost control of this podcast. I'm like Miss Appleby, and you're like Bulk or Skull.
so there's no risk. I don't want you to jump over anything.
No. I'm with.
I just want to test out.
I just
whether-
don't understand what effect that will have. They're not making the sound effect.
No, but it'll prove to us definitively either way whether you can make that sound while jumping.
But they're not making the sound effect. I shouldn't have to make the sound effect. The universe should make the sound effect.
But you suggested that as a thing that could happen. Now we're holding you to account.
I have no idea what's happening. This is
I'm just saying you can't make claims like that on the podcast.
claims
Not-
like what?
like I would make this sound while jumping.
because you can't make it while jumping.
Yeah.
You haven't proved to us that you can.
Okay, well, I'm okay with that, so I'm going to move on.
All right. Just saying, like, I'm ready to call you out on these outrageous claims that you make.
If you'd like to see Michael jump over some kind of log,
Too bad.
Please send us an email.
Yeah, that's a hashtag jump Michael log.
I kind of figured you maybe had a pun that you were waiting for.
I don't have that kind of time.
Hashtag jump Michael log. Not even Michael jump log. You're a professional writer. That's the best you got. Hashtag jump Michael log.
But it's strangely structured enough that it'll make people pay attention and use it, you know? Like, it's a strange construction. So I think it'll have marketing benefits.
I wonder.
Higher retweets on that one.
I wonder if that hashtag already exists. It might.
Jump Michael Log. I mean, if there's like an athlete out there called Michael Log.
Who does the hurdles or the high
Yeah,
jump?
the high jump. Yeah, that's the supportive hashtag. And then, like, poor Michael Log, who's out there, he's retired. He thinks his career's over, but he sees this like starting to trend. He's like, "Yes, the people love me again. I'm back." Poor Michael Log. Oh boy, we should probably get this one back on track.
Yeah, so back at the youth centre, Aisha's found some fire safety problems around, just stuff.
Yeah.
Ernie thinks that they're all pretty minor problems.
Yep.
Aisha says there's no such thing as a minor problem when it comes to fire safety.
That's right.
Good point.
Which I guess is true. But
Yes and no. I think, very poor wiring that could cause a fire at any moment is more urgent than, this fire extinguisher isn't as accessible as it could be.
Sure.
There's definitely a gradient there.
so Aisha's been a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yes, that's true.
That's the lesson she's going to have to learn.
Is this the point where
Care less about fires.
she's telling Ernie that he has to work on the juice machine?
I think that's next, but we might as well bring it up now.
Okay, just because his accent makes that delightful.
Basically, she's told Ernie that he needs to pull the juice machine apart so she can check the internal wiring.
Yeah.
I don't know what she thinks she's going to find.
I'm surely even putting it back together would be more, unless she's got a bachelor's in electrical engineering, which,
That's
given
right.
she's 16, I don't think she does, really has the capacity to do that.
No. And Ernie's quite upset with this. He's all like, how can I run a juice bar if I don't have a juice machine?
That is the worst.
It's really bad. I can't do a Brooklyn accent. You do a good one.
You've seen 94 episodes of this show. He's been in at least 70 of them, and you have no idea what he sounds
I don't do accents. Do an Ernie for us, my friend.
Hashtag jump Michael voice. I don't know. I got nothing.
That's actually worse than what I did. That's impressive.
Maybe hashtag Michael does accents.
Yeah. You should do accents. I like that. Spider.
While jumping over a log.
Look, if we can,
Well, we don't even know if he could jump over the log.
it would be efficient, though, if we could do both of those things at once.
Hashtag jump Michael log do accents.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
That's it would be hashtag jump Michael log accents do.
Oh boy, what is going on?
So back to the episode.
Okay, look, Bulk and Skull are wandering.
Yep.
They're looking for fire safety.
Yeah, we discovered this one. They don't actually want to be fire people, which is sad. What they want to do is be around fires so the Power Rangers may turn
Where
up.
there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's fire, there's trouble. Where there's trouble, there's Power Rangers.
Just not terrible logic, but the Power Rangers, as far as we've seen, don't really show up to domestic problems.
No.
They don't show up to put out your kitchen fire. You know?
Unless it is a giant fire that can be beaten by a robot.
Yes.
Which it will be in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. That does kind of seem more like a Lightspeed rescue situation.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
They were actually fire people.
Some of them were, yeah.
I don't actually know how they know that, because they haven't technically seen any Power Rangers show up yet around a fire.
Yeah. That's just an assumption they made, I guess.
I mean, I guess every time there is trouble, there is Power Rangers.
Yeah, but a specific sort of monster trouble.
Maybe they don't know about all the monsters.
They've encountered monsters.
Oh yeah, but
themselves.
not all of them. Maybe
Okay.
they think some of the times. I mean, there are always giant monsters.
It is hard to miss because they're bigger than buildings.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So look, Lord Zed summons the Flamehead monster,
Yes.
riding a horse.
Yep.
It's an
Were
excellent
you expecting
name.
that?
No, and I was pretty psyched. That's great. I love when they're riding on horses.
So Flamehead monster has got an old-timey oven for
Yeah.
a chest,
That's right.
fire shoulders,
Yep.
and a veil covering its face
Yep.
that it has to lift off every time it breathes fire.
Yep.
It's incredibly stupid. I love it.
It's pretty great. And when you say old-timey oven, it's more like an old-timey fireplace almost,
Yeah.
you know? It's like a big cast iron. Yeah, I love it. It's a cool design.
Yeah.
And he's got sort of like a Japanese characters on a dress,
Yeah.
almost.
They keep calling it a he, but it has a lady voice.
Definitely a lady voice, yeah, no question.
So,
And Firehead Monster, fantastic at fire puns.
yep.
So, thumbs up. I didn't realise at the time when... Who was it that sent the message in?
Oh, gosh.
We've got bad memories. I'm sorry, person.
I'll find out. Keep going.
Yeah, so when this person said that there were quick fire puns, it didn't occur to me that that is also a pun. But there is actually so many fire puns in this episode.
There's a lot of fire puns.
I would say there have to be about 30 in this episode, easily. Some of them delivered in groups of 3 and 4. if
pretty
you
good.
come to this show for puns, this is a high value episode.
It was Cameron who
Cameron.
sent that message
Thank you,
in.
Cameron.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Cameron.
So yeah, I appreciated all of that business
Yeah.
all up in our episode.
So they start fighting the firehead monster.
Yep.
Every time it wants to breathe fire, it has to lift that veil up. It's dumb. It's brilliant. I love it.
Isha definitely wouldn't like that. There's a certain fire hazard in having to lift that veil up
Yeah,
every
right.
time. If you're a fire monster, wouldn't you just go...
Burn through it once.
Exactly.
Be done.
But what if the rest catches fire? It could go down.
So we do see the kind of veil hat gets knocked off.
Yeah.
And it's actually got like a huge fire head
Yeah.
that in no way would fit under that hat.
No.
It's great.
It is great.
It's great. I love this show. This show is so stupid.
And Flamehead Monster doesn't really get off the horse for a long time. Like, he just sort of
so long on the horse.
like canters back and forth during the fight.
Why? Why?
Because if you're on a horse,
Yeah.
why would you get off the horse? Think of a reason. You can't. Yep. Point made.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I quite like how they're just cantering through the suburb, kind of through the park,
Through the park.
Yeah.
without no one noticing as well. That's really good.
So look, Rocky and Tommy and Adam kind of fight Flamehead for a bit.
Yep.
Don't do very well. Everyone else is in the juice bar and sees a news story that's really terribly reported.
It is.
It's basically the guy goes, more fires than usual today. Back to the young and the restless.
That's pretty much it.
Well, they don't even say the young and the restless. Back to scheduled programming.
Well, he doesn't know what's on. He doesn't watch that shit. It's just...
Doesn't he? I get, like, just from looking at him, I reckon he probably might.
It's just...
It's very low key.
Yeah.
You know, considering that apparently the town is burning.
But I mean, given how much fire we've actually seen,
Yeah.
there's like 2 fires, both safely contained in barrels. And they're very large fires
Why
in
barrels? Why are there so many barrels in the park to light fires? Like, if you were
That's
causing
why.
destruction, wouldn't you just set the trees on fire?
Well,
He does set one, like, shrub on fire.
Yeah.
But it is contained. Like, it's surrounded by sand, so it's probably not a big deal.
so everyone else goes to the command center, where Aisha basically makes the pitch that Kimberley and Billy should stay behind and figure out some way to deal with the flame monster. And she'll just go and take the monster down herself.
Yep. Because it's her responsibility, because as the fire captain for the whole town.
Yeah.
This is a fire situation, technically,
So-
even though it's more of an alien situation.
Kimberly and Billy both think that's a terrible idea.
Yep.
They're correct.
Definitely.
But Zordon says, no, Aisha, you go deal with it. And you guys stay here and do some
Basically,
nerd
just, like,
science."
reiterates Aisha's plan verbatim, as
Yeah.
if Aisha didn't just say it.
Yeah, that's how it works. So there's some putties now. And basically everyone tries to fight the putties while Aisha gets in their way and fights the putties herself.
Yep.
I don't know why she thinks that part is her responsibility.
No, that's
because she's not
nebulous.
fire and clay warden.
No. She definitely, like, also steals some punches from a few people. Like, Tommy will almost connect, and then she'll, like, jump in the way.
It's pretty good.
It's not even helping, it's just being a jerk.
So they also kind of briefly get taken out by Flamehead Monster.
Yep.
And they all go back to the command center.
Zordon, like, warps them back.
Yeah. Where Zordon reveals that he let Aisha go to the park so she could learn a valuable lesson. Fire safety, not that important.
No. What is important is teamwork.
Yeah.
Definitely more important than fire safety.
As Tommy says, there's no I in the word team,
That's true.
which is an incredibly inefficient way to say that thing.
He does say it like no one has ever said that before. Like he invented it.
Maybe he did.
Maybe.
Imagine if that was the first appearance of that phrase.
I refuse to believe that.
That would be so good.
Yeah. And it's interesting because Zordon says that he sent Aisha there to learn that lesson.
Yep.
She doesn't seem to learn that lesson. She just gets told that lesson when she comes back.
Matt, that's how this show works.
I understand.
Lessons are not learnt or relevant. They're just said.
But he could have just said the lesson to her before sending her. And
It
had
is-
her go, oh yeah, okay.
It does seem incredibly risky to risk the lives of 4 of your teenage soldiers just in the hopes that one of them might learn a lesson.
Yeah. And she doesn't. She still has to get told.
Yep. So they all go back together as a team.
Yeah. That's, you've got your, oh, this is some bullshit voice on.
It's because it's some bullshit, Matt.
Sorry, face, not voice, but yes.
They So Flamehead breathes some fire at them.
Yep.
They join hands.
Yep.
And if they combine their morphin powers,
Yep.
they can create an energy barrier to turn back the flames.
Yes.
That would have been incredibly useful for the past 90 episodes if that was not a thing that they pulled out of their ass right now.
Definitely. Yeah. And there's not even like a barrier that's created.
People attack them all the time with shit.
Yeah.
If they could just hold hands and bounce it back.
Yeah. Pretty useful. I bet they will never do that again as well.
Never, ever again. This show is the worst. It's just the worst.
They didn't even bother to animate like a shitty CGI
No,
energy
the
barrier.
fire just doesn't go all the way.
Yeah. And then goes back at the monster.
And they just kind of glow and hold hands.
Yeah. Which, I'm down for that in principle, but it doesn't make a lot of
Just dumb.
sense.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
I think your position is clear now, Michael.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jess, how do I feel about it?
I think dumb.
Yep.
Yep.
That's it.
It's
Cool.
pretty clear then. All right. They summon their giant robots. They fight the monster. There's a bit where they make...
You're increasingly uninterested in these segments, aren't
Well,
you?
look, if they give me a good one occasionally,
Yeah.
in this they briefly develop the ability to shoot fire extinguisher out of their hands.
Yeah, that's cool. Not, talked about at all? It just
No,
kind of
they don't
happens
even
for a
say, quick, use the thing.
Yeah.
They just go, oh,
second.
It doesn't even extinguish the fire. It just can't see for a bit.
No.
And also the horse has vanished. Firehead turns into this giant thing and I was expecting a giant horse and the horse is just gone.
I would have loved a giant horse. A giant horse would definitely have made it work.
That would have, yeah, absolutely, made the episode if that happened, but it didn't.
No. Where did that horse come from? Was it an evil horse, or did Lord Zed just borrow a horse?
Well, I don't...
Where did it go?
I suspect he would not borrow something. I don't expect he intends to return a horse.
Is it still roaming Angel Grove Park now?
Probably. That's sad, really.
Yeah. Poor Cloppy.
You named the horse?
Who doesn't name horses?
People who don't own horses, typically, in my experience.
Well, that seems reasonable, but we don't know who owns that horse, so I'm naming him Cloppy.
Okay, you've taken ownership of the horse.
Yeah, I'm looking after him.
All right.
He's a good boy.
When he turns up, he's all yours.
Yeah, Cloppy.
Cool. Glad this has happened.
If you find Michael's horse, hashtag Cloppy so we can return it to him.
Hashtag find Cloppy or Cloppy find. As is the structure of our hashtags.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so we're back at the juice bar. Bulk and Skull walk in, revealing that they have been kicked out of the Wannabe Firefighters Club. Maybe the saddest sentence in human history.
It's against regulations to hide in a lake while there's a fire going on.
Very specific regulation.
I feel like that would be an actual
Yeah, it
regulation,
does
though.
seem reasonable.
Yeah.
Actually, the saddest sentence is Skull saying, they took away the dog.
Yeah, that is pretty sad.
Aww.
It is. Yeah.
Just give him a puppy. They can have a puppy.
Although, don't give them a puppy.
They looked
Really?
after a baby, okay?
That's true. That did happen.
Puppies are like a baby, but it can poop anywhere.
So can babies.
Yeah,
really.
but it's much more accepted for puppies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
That's the one defining feature of puppies. It's the one thing that separates them from the babies.
that's what separates us from the animals.
Yep. We have to poop in a special place. They can just poop anywhere. Hashtag poop anywhere.
No, stop it. We need to save hashtags for important
Hashtag
things.
anywhere poop. So Ernie made a cake.
Yeah,
This might be a landmark cake. This might be the first cake on this show
Yeah.
that doesn't end up all over bulk.
I was ready for it too.
Yep.
But I almost am not surprised that it didn't end up on Bulk's face.
Because it is covered in candles.
Yeah, and that would actually be hazardous.
Genuinely a fire hazard.
Yeah.
What happens is Bulk and Skull see the candles, panic that there's a fire, and Skull throws a pitcher of water in Bulk's face.
Yeah. I mean, we still get some liquid on Bulk's face, as is tradition.
But there's a full cake that makes it to its intended recipient.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas miracle.
I'm pretty sure the Angel Grove cake maker is crying with joy now.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yay! That was something.
It sure was something.
Yeah.
So, Matt, where would you rank this on our scale?
Yeah, okay, so to explain it to Jess and any new listeners, we have a scale. The three newer Power Rangers, that's Rocky, Aisha, and Adam, in my opinion, perfectly represent the worst of all things, which is Rocky. Aisha, who is completely neutral and I have no feelings about. and Adam, who is the coolest of all people. So we use that scale to rank episodes. It's either Rocky, Aisha, or Adam.
Cool.
I feel like this one was probably, I would say maybe an Aisha. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, that feels about right.
I think the horse is the only thing that got it into Aisha category.
Oh, Cloppy.
Yeah, Cloppy was kind of interesting. So it wasn't all terrible.
And we learned some things about fire safety.
Yeah,
It doesn't
don't-
matter that much.
Don't get too into it.
No, put up some posters, but don't make your friends put up posters.
Yeah.
It's the right level to care about fire safety.
Yeah. You should care about it a little bit, but if you find yourself really interested in it, pull back altogether.
Just reconsider all your life choices.
Yeah. And then we have the Ranger Danger creature feature, which is our ongoing list of the monsters we've seen in Power Rangers.
So I thought Flamehead Monster was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely compared to the last few monsters we've seen. I mean, Flamehead had a horse. Flamehead had some pretty cool puns. Flamehead had that cool veil. And there was some fire.
So top half of the list?
Definitely top half.
All right, how would you compare Flamehead to the Invincible Flytrap?
Yeah. Very similar.
We've seen some shit, Jess.
I would say comparable.
Okay, well, immediately below the Invincible Flytrap is Madame Woe.
Madame Moore had a pretty engaging story.
Okay, so next down is Babe Ruthless.
Oh, Babe, that was... No, I can't go above Babe Ruthless.
Okay, well, right under Babe Ruthless is Lip Sinker, the lipstick monster. I'd be happy putting Flamehead right in between those two.
Yeah, I would. That's fair. Definitely.
I feel like the names have been really good. I feel like they didn't really try on Flamehead.
Well, there again, recently the names have been really poor.
Yeah.
Like, we've had a lot of head monsters, like...
Last week was Pachinko Head,
Yeah,
or maybe that was the week before.
I can't remember. That's definitely recently.
We had Showbiz Monster.
Yeah,
That was last week on the Harvey Garvey show.
that was terrible. It's been a pretty shitty run of episodes lately, hasn't it?
It hasn't been good for a while.
No.
God, I hope it gets better. All right.
Do you have any final thoughts about what you've seen today, Jess?
Well, I'd definitely watch another Power Rangers episode.
Great.
It's kind of took me back to my childhood a little bit.
That's exciting. Well, we'll have you back next week. We'll see how that compares to this week's experience. Probably learn less about fire next week, but...
Yeah, so we will be back next week with episode 95, Scavenger Hunt.
Oh, I love scavenger hunts.
Do you?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that next week.
All
then.
right. Done. We'll see you then, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.